To start this haul off, I do want to mention that I have not really been finding a lot at the markets. Then again, this is weeks ago that I bought this stuff. I don't even think I've been to the Flea in quite a while just because the weather's been kind of here or there, like with all the rain and everything. So as the weeks dwindled down and the heat and the humidity just got worse, we just stopped going to the market. So, and the pickings got slimmer and slimmer because of that. So I didn't find as much. Like, usually I can find something within the first few rows at this market, but for whatever reason, I just didn't see anything that was of interest to me, and if it was of interest to me, it was just too much. So I didn't find anything until, like, this market is set up weirdly. Like, it's got 3 small rows, which is where we start, but it's like double-sided rows. Like, 3 rows, but you've got one side on the left, one side on the right. So like 5 rows basically. And then you have one really big long row that stretches, which, you know, leads into 3 even longer rows. And I think I made it to possibly the second long row before I found anything. And this was the exact example of that. So I found, I think this was the first thing I even picked up because I thought it was interesting. It's probably from the 70s. It's called Flippo Sonic Control. Let me take it out of the box for you so we can look at it. But before we do that, I want to let you all know I did pay $2 for it. I think because it's in the original box, I may have to clean it up just a little bit because it's got some dirt on it. It's probably only worth about 20, 25 bucks. 25 on a good day, 20 on a bad day. So let me go ahead and open this up so you guys can see it. So apparently this is what it is. It's called Flippo. It says relax and don't blow your top. He's got hair on the top of him, and I guess if he moves, a duck comes out of him, or out of his head. It looks like a stone duck, or a drunk duck. I don't have batteries to test it, but yeah, so that's what it does, and let me show you the actual product. Now that I look at him, he kind of does look like a clown. Sorry, Misty, if you're watching this. I didn't mean to start this off with a clown, but I promise you the video gets better. So I guess the clown, when he's, I don't know. But his eyes pop out, and then there's the stoned looking duck, or the like drunk looking duck. So I guess if you move him or something, it's an egg shape, obviously. And then the battery compartment looks kind of rusty on both sides, or maybe that's just, no, maybe it's just tarnish. Over here, yeah, I think that's just tarnish. And it takes, what kind of battery does this take? I think it takes C or D batteries. I'm not exactly sure, but I haven't tested it out yet. I should probably go buy some batteries and see if he works. Thought he was interesting. I've never seen anything like it before. Like I said, he's probably from the 70s, 60s or 70s because he's made in Taiwan, or was made in Taiwan. So we'll see on that. The next thing I'd like to share with you all is this really adorable music box, and it's got a really nice image of a ballerina along with some flowers on the front of it. Pop it open by sliding this little mechanism to the right, and you open it up, and it is supposed to play music, but unfortunately it doesn't play even when you wind it up. But the ballerina's still in there. And she's kind of got Betty Page hair. Let me zoom in on her so you can see her better. She's got those Betty Page locks. That's probably not going to focus because of the glare from the mirror. But you get the picture. You know what I just realized? I was at the Salvation Army last week for the first time in over a month because I'd been working on Tuesday through Saturday. Mondays just aren't a great day to thrift in my opinion, especially around here. So I don't go, or on Fridays, like I had off today, but there were things I had to do, so I just decided not to go because I'm going to go out antiquing this upcoming Sunday. Anyway, I saw this ring holder. You see this little image that's right up here? If it's still there next week when I go, I will most likely pick it up and maybe try to sell both of the pieces together because that matches this. So I did pay, and this came from the same vendor, by the way, that I got that weird egg-shaped clown thing, for $2. This is probably not going to go on eBay. This is probably going to be a live sale item. Not going to be too much because the music mechanism doesn't work, but if you like vintage jewelries and trinkets and tidbits, this would be a great way to display them. Like up here you could put your rings, down here you could put bracelets and, you know, all the other stuff that women wear that clearly I don't have a clue about. And then this, if I had this piece and if it's still there, I'm gonna grab it. I would probably sell them together because you could put earrings on that and it matches this. So I will definitely be putting this in a future sale, so if you're interested, be on the lookout for it. So this very first group of items from this trip to the flea market, I believe I paid $13 for. I would assume. I can't remember. I feel like that's what it was. If I'm a few dollars off, it's not that big of a deal. So the first thing we're going to look at is this new old stock pair of Sumo, I believe that's how you pronounce it. They look like, what do you call these things? Not moccasins, or maybe they are moccasins. It's pronounced Sumo. And these, they're in a fuzzy pink color. They're in a size 8. As you can see, that 8 right there. These look like something you would have seen Cher worn back in like the 60s or 70s. Like I could see her wearing this on the Cher and Sunny show or when they were performing. This just looks like something that would have been right up her alley because she was really into that pink color. This is like flamingo pink, I would think. And that rhymed, and I'm sorry. Now here is the, I guess the manufacturer's information. So we've got ladies, cerise, and then size 8. It looks like someone originally paid $4.99 for these at a place called Arrow, which I assume for the time that was quite a bit of money. Or maybe it wasn't. But yeah, those will be listed in my eBay shop. I think because of the color, it will help them sell. They do have kind of like a musty smell to them. I mean, most vintage things do because they sit for years and years untouched in basements and attics and closets and stuff. Like musty mothball smell. I mean, I'll disclose that when I list them. So I'm hoping I can get some pretty decent money out of that. I might ask $25 to $30 for them because they're in the original box and the color is, I would say, a rather desirable color. So I thought those were very cool. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but those Sumo moccasins were $2, if I didn't say that already. So the next item in this group is this Dutch-looking metal dustpan. I paid $1 for that. And it's in really good shape. The images on it are really nice, and yeah, I mean, this thing is just overall in pretty darn good shape. And it looks like it was made by the J.V. Reed Company in Louisville, probably Kentucky, USA. I'm going to do some research, but if this ends up not being worth a ton, it'll just be in a live sale, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who would be interested in this. Alright, and the last two items for this particular group are these Whitman puzzles. So it was 10 for the both or $5 a piece. This one is from 1954. It's called Chilly Willy Pictures. As you can see, it is not exactly in the greatest shape. I mean, look, we've got a rip right here on that piece. But overall, the colors on here are just fantastic. For the South Pole. And as you can see, we've got some marks right here. Ooh, and that piece is shaped like a plane. I just noticed that now. See, like there's edge wear all over it. So yeah, I mean, what do you expect from a puzzle that's 66 years old? But it's still got great color. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to sell this because I kind of like it. But we will see what happens. I'm sure I'm going to be having some of you all drool when I show you this next puzzle, and it's probably my favorite of the two. So prepare yourselves. Let's check it out. Voila! It's a Whitman Christmas puzzle featuring Santa Claus and Frosty. The images of this puzzle are fantastic. The graphics are really neat. And just a great piece of classic retro Christmas. It does have a mark, or the Whitman stamp, in the corner. And, sorry Misty, there's a clown there. And I don't know what the heck's up with this girl's hair. It looks like she was electrocuted. Did she go through some shock therapy before she got into that bag? Who knows? But yeah, just an exquisite piece of vintage Christmas. And I did look it up, and I didn't see another one of these listed. I don't think I'm going to list it, because I like it. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, like I mentioned with the other one. So I've got 2 items from this one person that are vintage. Of course, I bought something that is not vintage, that is from, like, this year. It's a Ralph Lauren duffel bag, brand new with the tags. The guy told me that he went to Boscov's, and I think he got like a $200 fragrance, like a cologne. I would never do that. But they, I guess, gave him a bag free with purchase. He didn't want the bag, so he sold it to me for $5. So I'm happy with that. If I wanted to sell it, it'd be worth about $40. But I think it would be good to have just a small bag, so if I need to go out of town or something, or I decide to stay in a hotel, I don't have to lug a big old piece of luggage. I can just throw everything in that one small bag. Anyway, like I said, it's been many weeks since I acquired this stuff, so my prices, I just can't remember them unless they're marked. So I thought this was really, really cool, and we'll go ahead and look at the inside of this. It's the My Mary Dolly's linen closet, and I guess this was for a little girl to be like, Mom. What attracted me to it were all the different boxes of things in here, and they've got real product in them, which is really cool. So this is for Playtex baby powder, and I think it had baby powder in it. This was, I'm gonna keep saying this is so cool, but we've got Dutch cleanser with Purex bleach. I hope this doesn't have real bleach in it. We've got a little thing of Scott tissue paper, which I think is awesome. And then here's a little thing of Scotty's tissues, the economy pack. And then here is a rubber safety pin. I don't think they liked giving real safety pins to kids back then. I wouldn't give a real safety pin to a kid today. Although they did put them on diapers back in the day, didn't they? Oops. Focus. And then this is probably my favorite one. The Ivory Snow. Look at the graphics on that box. I love that. Do any of these have a date on them? I don't think they do. If I had to put a date on this, probably the 1960s. I don't think this is from the 50s. Or maybe it could be. No, I think it's more 60s than it is 50s. And then we just got some little rags down here. I just thought that that was really, really fun. And just a great way to see how people used to advertise their products with, you know, kids play food or kids play cleaning product. And they even came with a little certificate or like a little ribbon down there that says commended by the Consumer Service Bureau of Parents Magazine and advertised therein, or as advertised therein. I just thought that was cool. And I've been rambling about 3 minutes about this one, so. And I liked this, and again, I'm sorry, Misty, I just couldn't help it. I liked the image of the clown on here. It's one of those toys where you flick it, you hold it like kind of like a pair of scissors, and the ribbon goes flying. It extends like that. I just really, really liked that. And again, Misty, I'm sorry, but yeah, there's a clown. I guess this would be his arms. You just put your hands in there like you're holding a pair of scissors. It's called a Zoomerang, and it was by the Tierret Enterprises in Chicago, Illinois. America's largest toy selling. Here's what you do with it. I should have just showed you all this. So I thought that was really cool, and again, Misty, I sincerely apologize about the clown. I know you don't like him, but I gotta show him again. But that's really cool, at least I thought. So I found these three lovely ladies here. They are music box angels, or they're a musical wind-up. They are probably from, at least this one is probably from the 50s. This one's probably from the 60s. This one, when I looked it up, is from the 70s, like 1971. So this one, oh, by the way, I did pay $1 each for these. So that was a really good price. This one was made by Berman and Anderson, 175 Fifth Avenue in New York. It does have a zip code on it, so it's after 1963. So that was a good guess when I said it was from the 60s. It says made in Japan on the bottom. She looks like something I would put out at Christmas time because she's got the gold and what is she playing? A banjo? Not a banjo, it's some angelic instrument. I can't remember what it is. It's not a harp, but it looks like a banjo. This girl right here, the Shamrock Girl, is from 1971 when I did the research. And this one was made by the CM Inc. company, Chadwick, also made in Japan. I did look her up, and she is not really going for a lot. So what I will be doing is putting her in a live sale. I'm sure there's someone out there who remembers having this or remembers their parents having this, and or just likes to decorate for St. Patrick's Day. I like certain St. Patrick's Day decor, even though it's hard to find, much like vintage Halloween. But I gotta be real picky. I like the stuff from the, I like the 60s stuff, but I like the pre-60s, but I accept the 60s stuff. Once the 70s and the 80s came in and that arts and crafts thing kind of came into play, that's the stuff that I'm not crazy about, like the darker colors and just the crafty stuff of that time, like the primitive crafty type. That's not my taste personally. I know there are people out there who still like it because of the memories it brings, but it's just not for me. So we got those. This one is probably my favorite. I love the Lefton Valentine's Day girl. She has her Lefton sticker on the bottom of her. Trademark exclusives Japan. And they all work. I just really like the look of her, and she would definitely look great in a Valentine's Day display. So I will be keeping her, and possibly the gold angel too. The other girl I'm probably gonna sell, but I still think these were a really good find for $1 a piece. So this next group of items cost me $25. I think it was a really, really good deal, and I'll show you why. So there are 3 things from this group that I will be keeping. 4 of them are going to be for resale. So the first thing, and despite his damage, I still picked him up. I got a snowman candy container. It's got dents and dings and melt marks, and there's a break on his little hand there, and there's a break right here. But that doesn't matter. Vintage Christmas was supposed to be used as it should have been. It served its purpose. And his little pipe is gone, but most of those are gone when you find them. I still love him, and I think he was worth what I paid. So I got 7 items for $25. What is that? I don't even know. So that was cool. Then I found this German doll. It's probably part of a German dollhouse, probably an import. It says beige Pupchen. I'm just reading it as if I'm speaking in my language, English. Spielgut. Made in Western Germany, so you know this is older. I don't know exactly who this is. It looks like a man, like almost a doctor or a chef of some sort. It's by Cacao Beige Pupchen. If any of you all happen to know what this figure is, let me know. And I believe I can probably get $30 to $35 for this doll. So if it's something you're interested in, the link to my shop is down below in the description, so you can check that out. I was really happy to see one of these because I remember my dad picking up some of these at a garage sale years ago. And it's just Mr. Potato Head from the 70s, and you can definitely tell that he is older because do you see any toys nowadays where they allow a pipe to be one of the accessories? No, you don't see that very much anymore, hardly at all. But he is marked, and I wish I would have gotten him for 50 cents, but he was still a good price with everything that I bought. He's marked 1973 Hasbro. He is not worth a lot of money, but to me, I love him, and I think he would make a great display on a vintage toy shelf. So I love him. And when I found him, I saw some of the stuff missing, but when I dug through the box he was in, I found everything that was supposed to go with him. I find it so funny that they didn't have arms back then. Arms and hands. It was just literally feet, ears, eyes, nose, mouth, pipe, hat. And then if you go back earlier in the 60s, 50s and 60s, you had to put the actual pieces in a vegetable, and that was the toy, or in a foam head, which is really cool. Now the last piece, before I show you all the bigger items of this group, is Americana. And I know that some people might be a little on the fence about collecting that stuff. Personally, it does not represent me. I am not somebody who likes prejudice or anything like that. But one of the reasons why I like it is because it's vintage, obviously. But because it's also a great reminder of what did happen in our history, and it is very unfortunate and sad and very, unfortunate, and it, especially with what's going on now. If it said something very derogatory on it, and I'm not going to say those words, I would not have bought it, because I find the slang terms and the derogatory language just very offensive and cruel and just not nice. But I found this little Americana brush. I just liked the look of it. It's definitely older. It's made of wood, but like I said before, I don't think owning this kind of a thing is wrong, especially if you can recognize what it represents, and if you keep it in circulation. And you know what they say, those who fail to recognize the demons of our history are doomed to repeat it. So that's what I'm trying to do when I say I'm owning some Americana pieces. And I think it's important to keep this stuff in the public and keep it in the open, because you're going to, represent that you don't stand for what took place in our past and what still is unfortunately going on today. But you're letting people know that you're spreading the awareness, is what I'm trying to say. So enough banter about that. So let me show you all the larger items for this group. So these 3 items are actually well worth that 25 bucks because they do generate some pretty good money. James Bond 007 Octopussy is actually not as valuable, and I mean, it's still up there, like $30. And so that'll be going on eBay. This one over here also, Guns of Fort Defiance. It's a microcomputer game for a division of the Avalon Hill Game Company. I think this was for what's it called? I think the Atari, something relating to the Atari. You see down there, it is marked 1981, brand new and sealed. Oh, and the Avalon Hill Game Company in Baltimore, Maryland. So that's a local piece to me. So that's brand new and sealed, and that, I can't remember exactly how much that generates. I will put completed listing prices right in front here if I can. So Guns of Fort Defiance, and then we've also got this one, which was a really good find. It's also a role-playing game for James Bond from the 1980s. This one's Dr. No. I did look this one up on Amazon, and people were asking a pretty decent amount of money for it, so I think this is going to be going into Amazon for well over $100. This one, I can't remember if I saw it on eBay or if it was from Amazon where I found out it was worth some money. I think it may have been Amazon. So if I don't see good completed listings on eBay for this, I won't put the prices here. But yeah, that was a really, really good pickup on my part. This group of items, again, I can't remember exactly how much it was. It was a double-digit number, not a very high one, but I think it may have been $12, $15. And I just, again, I was just buying stuff because I liked it. First thing I'm going to share with you all are these. They're not footed, but they have, like, you screw on the orange to the base with the leaves on it. They're oranges. They are from Japan. Here's the mark right here. Maruhan Ware hand painted Japan. One of the treads on one of these shakers is chipped, so it doesn't screw on all the way. But they are still very, very nice. If I had to date them, probably I don't know if they say Japan, probably 60s, 70s, maybe earlier. But I think they're really cute. Either I'll be listing them on eBay, or I may put them in a live sale depending on how much they go for. I've got a thing for vintage pins if they have good subject matter, and this one is just of a smiley face, a blue one, so this is probably from the 70s. So that's going in my junk jar. If you all remember from my awesome flea market haul that I did, I found one of those Tasty Freeze, I think it was like a poncho or something like that, and it had the original, I guess the person's name tag in it, which I have in my junk jar. This one's for Sunbeam Bread, and I can't remember if this one has a design on it or not. No, the one that's for Tasty Freeze did, I think. It was like a really retro 70s looking thing. But that's also going to go in my jar as well. Not a whole lot of value to it, but it's still cool. So I've got a stack of Little Whitman books. Some of them are duplicates, and I may either sell them in a live sale or give them to Tarnished Treasures to craft with. So we've got Tommy Caboose, Animal 123, Steve the Steam Shovel, Animal Parade, Buddy Bear's Lost Growl, Cowboy Bill, Sally Squirrel's Wish, Little Lost Kitten, The Little Chick Chick, Five Fat Piggies, Hide and Seek. Oh, we got another Little Lost Kitten. And this one I think is of Tommy Caboose. And then I've got two Tommy Cabooses. So I'll be keeping one of the Tommy Cabooses, and I'll probably be selling these ones off. They've got writing and stuff in them, so they're not exactly worth a ton of money. So these four will probably be either put up for sale, or I will just send them off to Tarnished Treasure so she can craft with them, or just let her kids look at them, because they're already kind of beat up. And then the last item from this group is this German circus toy still in the box. And again, Misty, I'm so sorry. I know I bought a lot of clowns in this video, and I'm sure you are either yelling "ack" at the screen or giving me the evil eye, and if looks could kill, I would be dead. But let me take them out so you guys can get a better look at them, because the box is really beaten up. By the way, this is made by, and I'm going to completely butcher this, La Meza Rugiar. La Meza Rugiar. That's just the American way of pronouncing that. So here's the box again, and let me go ahead and take him out so you guys can get a better look at him. So here's what he looks like. He's incomplete. There's something that was supposed to go back here, and one of the wheels... Oh, never mind, maybe not. So that's just what he looks like, and I think something was supposed to go here as well. But he still makes a great display piece. I love the colors on him. And yeah, I just think he is super, super cool. And the very last things that I'm going to share with you all, and the very last things that I picked up this go around at the flea market, are some vintage kitchen clocks. I had not been finding these lately, and for whatever reason, I found some, and I was really, really happy about it because I paid $12 for the three of them, so $4 a piece. That is a steal, because years ago I paid $15 a piece for some of these. But at the time, I thought they were worth it, and I still think they are, and I've kept them. I've sold my plastic ones, and I have one aqua turquoise one that I found a while ago that I kept in plastic, and I'm fine with that because it is aqua. So this one, as you can see, has got some major paint loss to it. I mean, look, the paint is just chipping off of it. It's a General Electric, but I still love it. And the cord is missing the plug, but that you can easily replace. You can take it off of a vintage lamp and just put it on here. I don't know if they work. I have not tested them. This one over here is made by Gilbert. It's got some markings all over it, as you can see, so I might take an eraser to that and see if I can get it off. If not, I'll see what I can do about it. That one's got the cord. Now this one I really, really like because it's definitely giving me 1930s, 1940s kitchen vibes. I know Michelle at Comfy Cozy Living is probably drooling over this piece. I did say if I decide to sell it or if I find another one, I will sell it directly to her or just send it to her directly because she loves cherries and that's her theme in her kitchen, I think. Vintage and cherries. But I really like the look of this, and this is actually made of ceramic. And that's a really bad focusing job, sorry. It's made by Sessions, or at least the clock movements are. This one is missing the electric mechanism, but that's okay because I like to just display these. And I have a vision in my head of having, even if I buy a modern house, I would still deck it out in vintage, and I picture these being along one wall, just a whole wall of vintage kitchen clocks from the 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, or maybe even the 20s. I don't care. If they're cool and they're from a certain era, I will buy them. If they're cheap, of course. And I have one that's from, I think, the 1960s. It's hexagonal. It was made by General Electric, and it's got tiles in it. Like late 50s into the 60s when that whole like mosaic tile pattern was in, or that style was in. But I absolutely love these clocks, and I will treasure them forever. So that is everything that I would like to share with you all today. Remember, if you see something that you are interested in purchasing that I mentioned is for sale, the link to my shop is down below in the description box. Hopefully it will be listed by the time you see this video. So that's all I have for you today. Be sure and give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when new videos are posted. All of the links to my social media accounts via Instagram are down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye guys!